Hello and welcome to the morning show teeing off with RevSportz. This is me, Rohan Chaudhary, and we had a great match yesterday at the T20 World Cups. And South Africa, for the very first time, from both men's and women's category, reached an ICC final. And to discuss that, we have Devashish Sen and Boria Mojumdar. Good morning, Boria. Good morning, Devashish.
Good morning.
Good morning, Boryada. Good morning, Rohan.
Look at Devashish's shirt, and you know what this day stands. He is already ready to go to the derby and cheer Mohun Bagan. Joy Mohun Bagan.
Joy Monma. And Boryada's shirt also, I would say it's green, but almost we are similar. See, green and maroon.
Exactly.
So,
This is
so two more.
why Mohun Bagan supporters are indomitable. We are everywhere.
Everywhere.
So a tough time it will be for me. I think in this show, two Moonman supporters on both my sides and
For
one
you,
single.
for Trisha, who is a very dear, but not happy times coming.
Risha realized that Devashish and I will be on the show, so she's run away today.
Okay, we'll come to the derby match. Let's discuss South Africa's victory yesterday and losing to Sri Lanka in the first match to reaching the finals. How good was the campaign for South Africa? Boryada, you first.
It's been an incredible campaign for them. If you actually think what it means for South African cricket, it can't get better. For a team that lost the first match, and all of us question that is, again, is home pressure getting to the team. And from there on to be...
I think there is some network issue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I just take over. Obviously, Boryada is online back again.
So the point that I was trying to make, is from there on to where they have come is a sensational campaign, Rohan. Absolutely sensational campaign. I mean, look at the way they won the match, and what does it?
Oh my goodness.
Issue there.
Keep problem.
Yeah.
So there is network issue.
I'll just take over. Obviously, losing that match, first match against Sri Lanka, and then to bounce back the manner in which they have done, and what a moment it will be for South Africa on Sunday. Come Sunday, means obviously yesterday was also a full house. All the South Africans joining hands and coming to Newlands to cheer the team against England, and it will be a monumental thing for South African cricket, and not only women's cricket but cricket overall, because we all know they had a problem within the board with the system, and then this performance by the women's team, and obviously, and what it does, it will do to the sport as such, women's cricket as such, is that it will only popularize, because and this is also, Rohan, I would say that it is good for women's cricket in a whole, because you need, had it been an England Australia final, because those are the two top teams, two giants, I would say, and then to have a new champion, if South Africa can cause an upset win against Australia in the final, and that will be the icing on the cake, and that is all we want.
That will be magical. That will be magical. And
that will be. Yeah, Boryada is back.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I was hearing what Devashish and it will absolutely be magical. I mean, think about it. Think about the country. They've been in international cricket, men and women, for the last 30 odd years, and each time they've sort of come into the tournament as one of the favorites or a dark horse, right? They've got quality. Think about the men's team, think about the women's team, and yet they've fallen short. And each time we've said, oh, you know what, South Africa chokers. Oh, you know what, South Africa won't win. So for them, it will just mean a new leaf. It will mean they can win. It'll mean that cricket can now become the new rugby. It'll mean a new lifeline. It'll mean that their men's team will take a leaf out of the women's team and feel inspired and motivated. Think about the number of girls, and here I talk about girls of color, will start to play the game. Look at, because South Africa has that issue. We know that. We've seen that. We want... See, look, sport is ultimately about society. It's not simply going out there and playing the game with bat and ball. No. It is about making societal change. And that is where I think a whole generation will start to believe that they have careers. Look at Enkuleko Laba, look at Lara Goodall, look at Chloe Tryon, look at even Cas Naidu commentating. Look at this and you will know that all of a sudden it's a revolution in South African cricket. There will be people who all of a sudden will feel inspired. There's equality, there's sensitivity, and there's ultimately achievement. All of us will be rooting for South Africa on Sunday.
Absolutely, absolutely. And uh, I can imagine the amount of celebration there will be. Yesterday, we saw some Shubhan Chakraborty send some brilliant visuals. And winning the World Cup in the home country is something else. We all experienced such a thing in 2011. We all went out at the night celebrating, and crazy scenes it will be in South Africa if they win. And talk about the mentality that the girls showed shown yesterday. They that was what lacking with India the other day. Goriada, you first. The winning
Absolutely. I mean,
mentality.
if you think both games were very similar. India lost by 5. England lost by what, 6 or 7. At one
Yeah,
point in time, both India and England were cruising, and both Australia and South Africa came back. The difference is Australia, between these two sides, India did not believe. South Africa did. Both India and South Africa were underdogs. Australia and
yeah,
England were favourite. And the underdog needs to believe that we can punch above our weight and beat them. India did not. The moment Harmanpreet Kaur got out, whether it is luck, whether it is a mistake, is a different ball game. Maybe it's a combination of both luck and mistake. But the rest of the team did not believe. They did not believe. And when it comes to fielding errors, there's nothing lucky about it. It's an error. A catch drop is an
exactly,
error. A fielding mistake is an error. No lucky or unlucky about it. Look at South African fielding. Look at that catch by Tasman Brits, and you will
Tasman
know what I'm
Bridge.
talking about. You make your own luck.
four
So
catches.
South Africa, from ball one, was giving it their 200%. And you know what? A
Exactly,
point that I am actually borrowing from Debashish from last night's show. He said Australia weren't at their best, and he's right. Australia gave you an opportunity. They played 50% of their potential. India got its best opportunity to beat them. We failed. And why did we fail? Because we are mentally fragile. If it was the first time, we would have said, okay, it's an aberration. First game of the Commonwealth Games. Renuka Thakur 4. Devashish and I were there in Edgbaston. Final of the Commonwealth Games. 118 for 2, 152 all out. This particular game, and you know there is a problem. And you know what? The moment you say, oh, it's unlucky, we are proud, we've done a great game, you are actually hiding the problem. The problem is you are mentally fragile. How do you address it? Get a psychologist. Try
Yes.
and get
yeah,
somebody there who will address the mental issue by saying, no, there is no problem. You're trying to be a rabbit, close your eyes, we played a good game, we're happy. No, you can't be happy without winning. You've got money, you've got facilities, the BCCI has done everything for you. Now, if you don't perform, there will be public scrutiny. It cannot be that the women will only be put on a pedestal and then not be exposed to public scrutiny if they don't do well. It's both sides of the story. So India was fragile, India lost an opportunity.
yes, and absolutely. South Africa showed that these sides, England, Australia, can be beaten. Even India showed that, but failed to deliver at the last. And Boriada was telling about Harmanpreet's run out. We have a masterclass for our viewers down the line today, explaining how it actually happened. And coming to you, Devashish, uh, your favorite player, Khaka, got 4 wickets. Shabni, Shabni Ismail, a brilliant match.
Okay, now let me
So
tell you who told you that my favorite player is Kaka.
we'll, we'll come to that. I want to know from you that what was the
Goriana
main.
was talking about Laba. You are talking about Kaka. Now what is going on? Yes, we are happy. We are happy that South Africa has won. But don't tell me that my favorite player is Kaka. Yes, he has taken
Okay.
4 wickets and just turned the match in favor of South Africa, won that match semi-final. But I would say
Yes, I
South
was
Africa
coming.
that I would say that opening partnership between Laura Ulvert
Yeah.
and Prajman Pitts, obviously both scoring and 50. Initially, it was Laura Ulvert who took the initiative. She was playing her shots, she was attacking, and then as she got out, Tasman Brits took over, and what an innings she has played. And that catch that Boriada has been telling time and again, and that was the game changer. That is a moment that is a game changer in a match. You need moments like that just inspires the whole team, and that was the moment for me. That Tasman Bates diving full length and taking that catch with one hand, and that to me was the difference between the both sides. The mentality, that self belief, that urge to win, that urge to do something. Means obviously England were overwhelmingly favorites, and then to bounce back in the manner in which they did. Obviously, Sophia Dunkley and the England and Danny Wyatt, they did give England a great start, but then those two wickets initially by Shabnim Ismail, and again.
Yeah.
It was Nat Shiverbrand that knocks he played, and it was these are moments that make you a champion team, and you need to have the self belief to do well in a big stage like the World Cup.
Absolutely. Yes, I was going to ask this only. Like for you, what was the main impact of South Africa's win? Like Sabnim Ismail's first two dismissals from 3 wickets, or the opening partnership, or the Tasmin Bates 65, 68 runs run. What was the main impact according to you?
Cricket matches are won, Rohan, with moments, as Devashish said. It's
Yeah.
not one, but multiple moments in a match that sort of change the course of the game in your favor. And he's listed out four for you. Whether it's that Shabnim Ismail last wicket of Heather Knight, whether it is the Marizan Cup 19th over, whether it is
Yeah.
that Tasman Bridge catch, whether it is a lot of these. I mean, of course, the Ayabonga Khaka over where she picked those two wickets. The
Yeah.
fact is, at no point in time did South Africa look fragile. Something we have associated with them, that they will collapse under pressure. They will crumble under pressure. They did not. They rallied round it. Just like the under 19 boys, the under 19 girls were inspired by a Neeraj Chopra. Similarly, they managed to get their rugby star, as Devashish made that point, to the dressing room. So they were thinking out of the box. They were trying to ensure that they do everything to pep up the girls. And they were successful. Can't be better. All they now need to do is not be overcharged. Because there is a very thin line between being
Yes.
charged and being overcharged. If they are able to keep their head, home support, packed Newlands, international support, because you will know that all of us will support South Africa. Why? Because we want the underdog to win. We want the underdog. Because, in sport, the night of the underdog is always a fairy tale night.
Yeah.
It's like Slumdog Millionaire. You want the underdog to go and win. Australia, they won 5 titles. It'll be another 6th one. But South Africa, new dawn for women's cricket. New dawn for the sport in that country. So all they need to do is don't get overcharged. If they are able to do that, it's a match on.
Absolutely. And Australia knows how to win a final. And we have a question. Boria sir, from here on, wherever Team India, do you think Team India should strict fitness tests like South Africa did, by which their fielding looks very good? Again, fielding.
This is a point I've been making for a long time, that fielding is not about luck. Fielding is about practice. And Joydeep was making the point about the men's team. Look, I have seen, I mean, Jemima Rodriguez claimed in one of our early press conferences in South Africa that India will be one of the best fielding sides in the tournament. India were miles away from that. Now, clearly the aspiration is there. Execution wasn't. If you look at the Shafali Verma catch, if you look at the Richa Ghosh drop, they were regulation efforts, not something that, extraordinary or whatever. So, if you think the margin of defeat and then put in how many misfields equal to how many runs, how many catch drops equal to how many runs, and you will know that it was our match to win. We were a better team. We missed our opportunity. We can't, time and again. So, yes, the BCCI needs to put this effort. And look, you've got to be disciplined and aspire to be the best in the world in all departments, batting, bowling, fielding. Do that, and you will be able to. See, for me, India as the men's team, and I bring in the men's team consciously. Ask Devashish Sen. He's the most traveled journalist in the last 12, 13 years, and he goes to every practice session and it covers every practice session. Ask him Ravindra Jadeja's drills. Ask him Virat Kohli's practice drills. Ask him about them, and you will know that there is a tremendous effort on the part of the men's team to be a top fielding unit. The girls should take a leaf out of the men's book. They must. You've got to aspire. And we haven't seen that so far. And the answer is blunt, staring at your face, fielding, much needs to be done. If an Elise Perry at 32 can do what she did, what stops a Shafali Verma at 19 from doing that? You just tell me that.
Absolutely.
And I would just like to add is that it comes with the fitness, the overall fitness. If you compare the men's team with the women's team, it is huge. There's a huge difference between the fitness of this Indian men's team, and it has got to do with Virat showing leading the way. When you talk about the fitness of this overall Indian team, they are super fit side. Means gone were those days when, say 10 years back down the line, we were not a fit side, we were not a great fielding side. We had the superstar batters, we had the match winning bowlers, but what we lacked is on world stage, on a bigger stage, is the fitness and fielding. And that has been that, and over the years we have seen a drastic improvement in this aspect. So all I want to say is that why not BCCI appoint a professional fielding coach? Means we did have a Shubhadeep Bose who was the fielding coach for the women's team, but fielding is something that you need to practice a lot. Means I haven't been to women's practice, so I'm not I cannot say, but as far as men's team is concerned, a lot of effort has been put on the fielding. Means they spend almost half an hour with the fielding drills and very innovative fielding practices, I would say. So take top teams like Australia or England or New Zealand, or even for that matter, I'm talking the men's team. They are all great fielding sides, and it comes with practice. It comes with hard work. You put in that best work, but fielding is all about practice. That makes a team perfect.
Absolutely.
There are two,
And
three other points. People, now the loss is past. Okay. Now you got to look at the future. What is the future?
yeah,
You have to appoint a bowling coach with immediate effect. You can't ask a Rishikesh Kanitkar to double up. Number one. You have to have a psychologist or a mental conditioning coach. You have to. Because clearly you are mentally fragile. And it's proven. Number three. You cannot let the captain decide who's the coach. I have a fight with Ramesh Power goes. That is not Harmanpreet Kaur's call. That is the BCCI's call. The BCCI as the arbiter of Indian cricket will decide who's the coach of the Indian cricket team. Now there are 8 tours being put in place. The WPL is happening. There will be exposure. There is media there. There is a lot of money. Some of these girls haven't seen half this money. So there is enormous amounts of money now. In fact, so much that all the other sports combined except men's cricket, you don't have that kind of money. So to say that women's sport lacks facilities is utter nonsense. There is every facility. There is every amount of support from the BCCI that is now being given. Have this roadmap done. Get a coach, as in a bowling coach, and give Rishikesh Kanitkar a longer run. Give him a longer run. What is the problem? Make him head coach if you want. Give him the longer run. Get a bowling coach in. Get a mental conditioning trainer in. Get a fielding drill, properly streamlined. Get fitness. Look at what Shankar Basu did with the men's team. Ask Devashish Sen. You know that there are fundamental changes happening. So if you are able to do that, there is no reason why. I mean, come on, yaar. Australians are not rocket scientists that they've been born from heaven. No, they are a beatable side. You've done that in the past. What stops you from doing it again? If you are able to dominate 95% of the match, you mean to say you will not be able to dominate the last 5? You are telling me that I will run a 100-meter race, run 95 meters in the best possible way. I will be leading the till 95, and then I will say, no. I will not complete the last 5 meters. What are you talking about here? And there's no luck. There's no luck. Alyssa Healy, by standing up to the wicket, when Harmanpreet's run was 200 times on, created her own luck. Alyssa Healy showed presence of mind by standing there and taking the bails off. That's champion's luck. Ashley Gardner said what? It was not our match to win. It was India's match to win. We showed why we are the best in the world. That's it. A Leo Messi lost in 14. You follow him more than us both. Leo Messi lost the Copa. He retired. He came back, sought redemption, and won it. And how did he win it? Nothing to do with luck. Nothing.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and that is my point. What is your roadmap for the women's game? You've put in, the board has now put in the best possible effort. I was delighted that Jai Shah was there, because the secretary, if he goes to the men's World Cup, he has to travel to the women's World Cup. He did.
Absolutely.
What does that show? There is commitment. There is commitment on the part of the board. WPL, it's happening. Late, yes, it's happening. There is money. 951 crores, 12,000 crores. These are serious figures, Rohan. Serious figures, for God's sake. So when you are putting in this kind of effort, nobody can tell me anymore that, oh, you know what, there are no facilities. If you get facilities, you have to be ready to face public scrutiny. We as fans will celebrate you. We as analysts will question you and your mentality and your ability if there are failures. And we are not saying for the first time. Commonwealth Games, first match. Commonwealth Games, final. 2017, final. 2000, somebody wrote yesterday that in 2017, England ran away with it. Look at how we've improved. What nonsense. 2017, the Mithali Raj team was right there. It was our match to win. 9 runs we lost. Anya Shamsol, 6 wickets. I mean, look at that match. Go check. Veda Krishnamurti, Deepti Sharma. India was in with a chance, for God's sake. They should have won. And it's the same story in 22, 23. So where is the improvement? The mental improvement is not there for us to see yet. All of us want to see, because we want to bleed blue. We want the women in blue to better the men. The moment they did, we would have said, look at the women's team, let the men learn. Each one of us would have said that the
Yes.
men fail, but look at our women, because we are proud of our women, for God's sake. Who says so that we aren't? We are proud of a Richa Ghosh. We are proud of a Smriti. We are proud of a Harman. But give us reasons. Give us reasons to celebrate you rather than faltering at the last hurdle.
Absolutely right. Very well said and rightly said. Yes. Let's move on. We have the WPL. We hope that it will bring a lot more pool of young talents. We should bring in a mental coach. That RCB appointed Sania Mirza as the mental boosting coach.
No,
We need
she's a
someone like
mentor.
that.
She's a mentor. She's a mentor.
Mentor.
No,
Ron.
no,
She's a
Mentor.
mentor.
she's a mentor, and yeah, we hope the Indian team will also hire someone like that. And uh, we will come to the next topic, the derby for today, and look at the smiles on both the faces. Yes, HK Mohan Bagan.
This is not a topic. This is an emotion, Devashish. There's no
Yes,
question of being
absolutely,
a topic.
absolutely, absolutely. And we both will be at the Salt Lake Stadium tonight.
Yeah,
And it's been quite some time, Boryada. I haven't been to a derby for last 3 years, because uh, first, professional commitments, we don't get the time. But the moment you said, the moment you offered me, would you like to go and watch the derby? Straight away, yes, I am going, because derby is all about emotions. It's all about emotions. And the atmosphere, I don't think it's the same atmosphere. Ron, you would be in a better position to say. I don't think it's the same atmosphere that you used to have,
no, no, no.
say, before the ISL came in.
Absolutely no. Because first of all, the attendance has gone very less. Even when I was going at the early ages, we used to see 65, 70,000 spectators coming. Now it's only 45, 50,000. And in the non-derby matches, the attendance is very low. And coming to the both the teams' position, ATK Mohun Bagan at number 4 right now. If they win, they will retain the number 4th place, and in the playoffs they will play in the home. And East Bengal are in 10th place, and if they win, they will move to the 9th place. But these are all statistics. But let's move on to the emotions. Puyada, you first. You have been to many derbies. You share some fond derby memories with us.
Yeah, I mean, I got slapped. I got slapped in my most fond memory, 1997. I was sitting in the East Bengal gallery. Amol Dutta was coach of Mohun Bagan. We were playing the diamond system. We were winning 5 goals, 6 goals. And you know what? For God's sake, I was sitting in the East Bengal gallery. I didn't know that it was an East Bengal gallery and the ticket was for an East Bengal gallery. And all of a sudden, when the first goal happened, and I was sitting quietly like this young child, okay? I mean, I was what, 21, but I was like this young child, scared, looking here, there. And they realized that here's a Mohun Bagan fan sitting in an East Bengal gallery, and I'm gone. 131,000 people at the Jubo Bharati Krirangan. Baichung Bhutia starred for East Bengal, that 4-1 win. Trust me. Then when I was coming out, I had to leave. I had to leave, otherwise I would have been beaten up and obviously abused and slandered. But these are fantastic memories. They sort of started hugging me and kissing me, saying, "Arey, tor ki hoiche re?" As if what has happened to you? Has something really drastically bad happened to you? And I'm like, I can't say a word because I'm in the middle of this whole East Bengal crowd, right? I mean, I've been to derbies from the age of 5, 4, 3, something like that. 1979, 80. And as it was part of my growing up, part of my DNA. I would go to the Eden Gardens. I remember Babu Mani scoring that goal in the 1980s. I've gone to innumerable derbies, including the last one, by the way. And there are 60,000 people
Yeah.
around. Whether or not it's good football, who cares? Whether or not Mohun Bagan and East Bengal have both qualified or not qualified, who cares? It's the derby, for God's sake. And it has nothing to do with any ISL standing. You put a Mohun Bagan flag or a Mohun Bagan tree, and you put an East Bengal tree, and there will be 10,000 people. It's
Absolutely,
just like that.
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
it's in our DNA. It is as good as Real Madrid, Barcelona. It's as good
Yeah.
as Manchester United, Manchester City. It's as good as anything in the world. A derby. And Devashish Sen and I, if Mohun Bagan win tonight, it'll be a Devashish Sen impromptu dance at the Salt Lake Stadium, and I will be on the ground, no question, because and it'll come spontaneously to us. And if by any chance East Bengal win, I know you and Trisha will go bonkers, but the two of us will quietly leave the stadium and not eat tonight, because that's part of our DNA as well, right? Derby is different, Rohan. Derby is different. I mean, Krishna Gopal Chaudhary's goal in the 1980s, even the bloody VIP at 7:30 in the evening. Come on, yeah, it's Derby. And people. Okay, my one memory, Uma Kanto, who Lududa fondly to all of us. So we were going to, and one of the early days of the Salt Lake Stadium. You know how many people were there in an auto? 16 sides jumping up, down. So the damn auto overturned. So when it overturned, and all people said was, "Arey, nam nam nam, choja kar, let's go." So we pulled it up again, we made it stand again, and we started going. This is nothing. You don't complain. You get on a tempo, you get on an auto, you get on a matador, you get on
That we have
anything.
done. That I have
Let's
done.
go. Oh
I,
boy.
I,
That I
I,
have done.
I would like to share an incident, a funny incident. Chittaranjan Das Majumdar, that famous incident. Chittaranjan Das Majumdar blew the whistle and Mohun Bagan won that match. I think the result was in favor of Mohun Bagan, and there was a matador full of Mohun Bagan supporters crossing. Um, I think somewhere in East Bengal locality, and the matador was stopped, and every Mohun Bagan supporter were made to get down the matador and were told, "Ball aage bashi pore goal." This is what they were made to say. Ball aage bashi pore goal, then you jump on the matador and go back home. But you have to say here, right? And all the Mohun Bagan supporters, they were scared, so they had to literally say aage bashi pore goal. And they were made to go. So this is what the emotion is all about, because they fight with each other. There are quarrels, there are arguments in the local addas. So this is what derby is
I
all
have
about.
that in my home. I have that in my home. My father is a Mohun Bagan supporter. I am an East Bengal supporter.
Oh, come on.
Because we have that blood from both the sides of Bengal. My
but but
grandfather's
but,
side.
but I would say that until and
Yeah,
unless you
right
jump
now that doesn't matter. Right now that doesn't matter. But the roots, yeah,
yeah, you until and unless you get in local players, means gone with those days when you have Boriada will agree with me. Gone with those days when you had stars in both teams. Take an instance of a P.K. Banerjee or a Amol Dotto and in the coaching staff, or a Baichung Bhutia and a Joseph Barreto. So these were all star players. Means actually they bonded so well with the emotions of the clubs, and that is what is missing with this
even when
with
I
this
was growing up, that Trevor Morgan era, like Penot, Jitolge Usbe, Robin Singh, that team also, those foreigners
even
were
even
also very much
even
attached
for
to
that
the.
matter, uh, during the era of Subhash Bhomik also, that time also
Yeah,
East Bengal had such a great team, and that Mohun Bagan team that won that I League means obviously Igor Stevens and Stephen Aboroi, Jose Barreto, what a team! Dusit from Thailand, what a team it was! It was a dream team for me. That Mohun Bagan team that won that I League was simply it
yeah.
was one of the team for me.
So
But
Buriala,
yes,
coming to you. Go on, go on.
Talking about today's derby, I think Mohun Bagan East Bengal you are the underdogs, but definitely whenever that red and gold shot, you know very well, because they would be charged up, because they're Clayton
No,
Silva and Jake Jarvis. There are a lot of expectations from this duo. Obviously, you never know. One brilliance derby is like cricket. It's all about brilliance.
obviously.
One great move, one great goal, one great finish, and the match is decided.
Yeah, like Clayton Silva scoring 12 goals right now, but East Bengal at the 10th place. So Clayton Silva played well, but the team did not perform. Uh, Buryada, coming to you, East Bengal's total downfall from the ISL, and every year we see that the before the start of the season, 1 2 weeks, the team is getting finalized. So, and the team is not having that coordination between them. So, do you think that this problem is what East Bengal is facing? And in the derby also, ATK Mohun Bagan have 100% record in the ISL. East Bengal have
Yeah, it's
not been
also
able
about money.
to.
It's also about money and commercial support, because East Bengal did not have that. They got corporate support from Imami only last year,
Yeah,
and then once that support got finalized, it was very little time to prepare a team. On the other hand, Mohun Bagan, because of the support of the Sanjeev Boyka group, and there is enormous amount of investment there. Look, whichever team, and look at English football, for example. If you have to understand that commercial support is essential. Without proper commercial support, will Indian cricket be Indian cricket? No. Will Mohun Bagan Club be Mohun Bagan Club? No. I mean, the fact is, you need, whether it's a Chelsea, whether it's a Man U, whether it's a Liverpool, whether it's a Man City, whether Man City was half the Man City before this kind of money came in. No, right?
exactly.
All of us know that. So East Bengal has been lacking that. I know Nituda and people are trying their best. Now they have Imami, they have a corporate investor in. But hopefully these things, and in the past also they had an investor, there was a problem. So a major chaos happened. You've got to professionalize and commercialize, because there are millions of fans whose emotions are at stake. So it's a very
Exactly.
thin line. It's a thin line between commercializing and keeping the emotions of the fans in check, or sort of justifying the emotions of the fans. So I think that is a problem for East Bengal. Mohun Bagan is more stable because of the investment that they've got, and its continued investment. And that's why I feel bad for East Bengal supporters, because look, you want a derby to be evenly contested, not Mohun
Absolutely.
Bagan
Exactly.
coming and winning every time.
Hmm.
Then it's a problem. Just like India Pakistan in a World Cup had become all India. Before, Pakistan
Huh.
thrashed us in the Dubai match, and all of a sudden we were like, "Arey, now this is a contest." And look at what happened in Australia. In a derby, also you want contest. You want an East Bengal to
Exactly.
win. You want a Mohun Bagan to win. And the moment that happens, people will say, "Yes, this is the prime match." That's what needs to happen.
Absolutely. And I know you both will be there and sending us lovely visuals if Mohun Bagan wins, but
100%,
also send
100%.
us
We will be.
also send us if East Bengal
Aren't
If,
wins.
we
if,
Please.
there
if,
by
if East
5:30?
Bengal wins, there's a blackout. No visuals will be broadcast
No,
anywhere.
no, no, no.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no. That can't happen. If East Bengal wins, please send us some visuals also. We'll be playing it back end, and we hope that you have an extraordinary evening. But East Bengal wins. So, and before we go, why don't you just give a small snippet from the Rudra Patil interview that is coming up for our viewers? Buryada, a small snippet from the.
Yeah, Rudra Patil is a personal favorite, especially after I spoke to that guy. He's 19, for God's sake, 19. He scored 633 in that Olympic qualification. So what does that mean? 6 sets, 633 means at an average 105.5 per set more than that. Now that is incredible shooting. So you're actually shooting a 10.5 or a 10.6 in every shot. Now that is just madness. In the recently concluded Cairo World Cup, he had fever. He was shaking. And I asked him, "How did you concentrate?" He said, "I was actually thinking about the film I'm going to watch that day." I said, "What? What are you talking about?" He said, "Sir, there are distractions from outside, you guys, media, audience, ABC, and there are distractions from inside. If I am able to focus on the distraction from inside, I know my concentration is 100%. If I am focusing on the distraction from outside, I will make blunders. That's it." And you know that you're talking to a champion athlete. Rudra Patil, based on current form, and I insist on current form, is very much like Saurabh Chaudhary of the 2019 period. He was winning everything. All I want is Rudra Balasab Patil to stay in this zone for the next year and more, leading into Paris 24. If he does that, 10-meter air rifle, India will have a fantastic chance at the Paris 2024 games. And if that happens, you know what? 14 years back, somebody had won India's first individual gold in the same event, 10-meter air rifle. He's part of our conclave next Sunday. The greatest Abhinav Bindra. There you see that scoreline, 633.9 qualified Rudra Balasab Patil. Look at the individual sets, 105, 106, 106, 105, 105. Damn. I mean, this is incredible shooting. And number 2 is China. So in that Olympic qualifier, there, now the qualification process has changed. It's no longer World Cups. It's World Championship and Continental Championship and stuff like that. Yes, I know that the National Rifle Association of India has now decided that there will be an Olympic trial. It's no longer whoever wins the quota. If Debashish wins the quota, Debashish goes. No, there will be an Olympic trial. But the way Rudra Patil is shooting at the moment, Rudra Patil, Anish Bhanwala, Varun Tomar, look at the recent crop that won golds in Cairo. Ridhim Sangwan, Tilottama Shom, 13 or 14-year-old Tilottama Shom winning a medal. It's unbelievable. India winning both the mixed events. 10-meter women, combined, 10-meter men combined. India is in real good shape. We saw this ahead of Tokyo. We made a mistake. We must make the most of this in Paris, and Rudra Patil could well be the leader.
Absolutely. We're really excited to see the interview. As you said, an inspirational story, and that's what winning champions mentality is, with a fever and winning the medal. And we have Joydeep Mukherjee's masterclass explaining you Harmanpreet Kaur's run out, and we will have more tomorrow from Shubhan Chakraborty from South Africa. Atro Mukhopadhyay will be traveling to Indore on the 27th. We have lots in store. So keep watching RevSportz. We'll bring you every possible news from all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohan.
Devashish friend, let's have chivri match for lunch.
100%.
Joy Mohun Bagan.
Joy Mohan.
Joy is doing well. Thank you.